Welcome back, traders. We are going to be going over something that's going to be very important and very vital to how we open up tomorrow on Monday morning. Regardless, I will be watching Monday morning, but this is my forecast for what the week could potentially look like, because it's all banking on crypto right now. It really is. So we're going to talk about how crypto relates to AMC and GameStop, and we're looking absolutely beautiful, may I say. You look at how you've reacted here off of the 200-day EMA. You've had a strong wick, a doji, and then a 9% daily candle. And if you look where you're located right now, I mean, look at the support flipping into resistance here. You had a tap at the low of this cycle, a tap at a higher low, and then this was your breakdown from that uptrend. And you're now looking to gain that once more. You've wicked inside of it, and you're looking to potentially get a daily close, a crazy bullish engulfing candle back inside of this uptrend formation. And that would be probably one of the most bullish things for the stock market to open tomorrow. A couple things were said, and almost, what is that? $225 million of shorts in crypto were liquidated. Additionally, I saw this somewhere. Trump was speaking on behalf of President Xi. Here, Justin, President Trump says, "Don't worry about China. It will all be fine." President Xi doesn't want a depression for his country, and neither do I. And of course, you see how the markets have reacted here. And I think that this is overall bullish for the small term risk on assets. If they are not going to change up the monetary policy, then this could become an absolute tsunami, guys, of bullish reaction here. Seeing people bid this thing back up exactly where we were, keep the freaking boat on sail, on path for a potential rate cut in October, which is still scheduled to happen. This meeting is still scheduled to happen, even with the government shutdown, which is crazy how long that this has been going on for. But funny enough, if you had Ethereum in this falling broadening wedge, you could have caught the bottom here. Although you wicked outside of it, you did catch the 200-day EMA. And from that, you've already seen a pretty significant bounce here. A bounce of 21% in 3 days. Goodness, 3 days on Ethereum. That kind of volatility is volatility that I freaking live for. And if you were buying down here like I was, you're pretty well off right now. So I love this formation for Ethereum. If you take the profit target, the bottom to the top, make it drop, you get the breakout. That takes you to a new all-time high at $5,808. Or let's just call it $6,000 on Ethereum. So very interesting. I'm happy that that bullish divergence on the 4-hour has played out today, like we talked about yesterday. And how does this relate to AMC? How does Ethereum and XRP and Bitcoin having an almost 10% day, a bullish engulfing candle, and a break back into this range, how does that affect AMC and GME? Well, I will tell you, this general positive reactment from the market and the good news coming out before Monday open, I think, is really setting up for a pretty disgusting Monday recovery for the S&P 500. If we pull it up here, S&P 500, look at that freaking disgusting candle. You can see a 2.7% drop, your largest drop of the year since April, and a test of the 50-day EMA and the daily time frame, and the first test of this golden cross trend line. Guys, this is inherently a bullish thing, and I think unless you see our good old friend Mr. Trump step back in with, psych, I gotcha, I'm implementing 100% tariff, That would drop us probably down here to these gap fills, these two. Unless you see something like that, a big swing in monetary policy, I do believe you're going to see a pretty crazy green Monday morning. And I think that goes into effect for our favorite stocks and crypto. You can see here AMC about to cross and flirting with the RSI daily band. Cross above this, it'll be the first time you did so since back here when you saw a 2%, a 4%, and then a 7% candle, give or take, to the upside before breaking it. And then the last time you did it, you saw this general move, the retest, and then a move higher. So very, very positive to see this busted trend now reestablished and news swinging in the bulls' favor. I was texting my friend last night, and this is why I'm pro Discord, or I'm pro setting up some kind of conversational text with you guys, because I was texting him, we got this 4-hour div on Ethereum and Bitcoin. If you see a green day tomorrow and positive news to support that green day, you could see bears get absolutely trapped and absolutely liquidated, just like they did the longs. If you think about the market maker, they make the most money liquidating everyone to the downside, and now they're going to liquidate everyone to the upside. And these kind of volatile moves are pretty unprecedented. It's exciting times to capitalize. So on AMC, you have broken this, reestablished, and now you're constricted between the uptrend and the downtrend. And you can see here you closed in between the two. You had wicks outside of both. So depending on how Monday morning opens up, you could see this RSI band broken and Amy break out of this trend line, hopefully closing above and establishing a new higher high above 318. Get above 325, guys. And this thing becomes very, very interesting, because if you don't know, now you know. Pulling up AMC, you closed, and we talked about this in our last video, you closed pretty much perfectly above the 50-day EMA. You have the 9-day EMA curling to potentially send you higher. And then you have the daily MACD that could potentially flip green once again after getting one of these fake out crosses. You had a fake out cross to the upside here, and now it looks like you may have a fake out cross to the downside here. So the ramp up in volume looks nice. I don't like the 3% in after hours, but we're going to have to see if Monday's open can invalidate that and send you higher. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's looking really, really nice right now as Bonk, Pepe, Doge, ADA, Ethereum, XRP, all looking to go 10% on the day as we get a strong market reaction here. Now we look at the weekly chart on AMC. You have a hangman candle, and we spoke about the comical nature that this has with AMC's stock chart, that every single time you see a hangman chart pattern or a candlestick, even though it's bearish, even though, guys, I cannot deny that is a bearish candlestick. But every single time in recent history that you've gotten that candlestick here, you did get it there, to be fair. Got it here. Got it here. Got it here, to be fair. Got it here. So, it's about 70-30 that you see this thing break to the upside. Keep in mind, this is a falling wedge pattern. Those are a bullish reversal pattern. But even if we see some uncertainty trickle into the market Sunday night, Monday morning, you still have very strong support at this 270 range to potentially bounce and break this falling wedge. Now, what we're going to be watching closely on AMC, and I don't care about the fundamentals. I understand that they could potentially be raising the share count, which for squeeze is not good, but for long-term success of this company, if this company has any kind of future besides for a squeeze, you need to get debt-free, and you have to continue to attack that by expanding your top line sales, Wicked 2, Taylor Swift, other blockbusters, right? Bringing in extra revenue that was not accounted for by original forecasts. And 2, cutting costs. Cut your underperforming theaters and expand and invest in the overperforming theaters. That is eventually going to get you a profitable company. If you can do it right, if you continue to do it, you will see the share price find a base, find a bottom, right? As you've done here, finding this double bottom on the macro time frame. And if you can break this and stay above the 50-day EMA, it's something that I have preached, something that I have screamed at you guys and pounded the table on. If you can stay above the 50, then eventually with this speed and the sloping of the 200, you will get a daily golden cross. For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since, drumroll, 2021, February 2nd, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, when you came all the way back down to test this golden cross, you then flagged out, broke above, retested, and made an all-time high. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen right now. I'm just saying that the opportunity and the setup is there, right? You just got millions more in liquidity of short sellers caught with their pants down off of crazy monetary policy swings. If you see any kind of crazy Green Monday on SPY, this thing could break and break violently. And so that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for a confirmed breakout on AMC and a test of the 200-day EMA. Because mind you, every single time you've done it, you've gotten bullied and smacked down from the 200-day EMA. So you can see here, tested, bullied, tested, bullied, like really bullied, annihilated, tested, closed literally right below. You can see how close you came to closing above. Look at that wick. Closed below, bullied. Closed below, bullied. Gained, failed to hold, bullied. Gained, failed to hold, bullied, bullied, and bullied. So, I mean, it's no news that getting the 200-day EMA as support after breaking out would be one of the greatest chart shifts in AMC's history since 2021. First time in 5 years. So that is what we're looking for on AMC. We're looking for some kind of pop in volume and bullish strength to close above. That is our macro thesis. If you're going to remain bullish on AMC, you have to see this breakout. The monthly time frame still looking good. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands here and give you a status update on that. Your top band is sitting right at that significant horizontal resistance, or may I say 541. Very, very significant horizontal resistance. And if you can mount the midband at 374, just like Neo did, right? There's a very opportune scenario where you then test $5. And it could be as easy as that. But what would happen if you mount the midband is that these Bollinger Bands, which are often referred to as the squeeze bands because they so often do predict squeezes or large term moves when these begin to pop or expand out, that is when volatility ensues, and these stocks that have been traded and beat to the dirt, you see crazy moves. I mean, crazy moves. And I'll give you an example. You don't have to look that far. You just look at one of our favorite stocks that we've been covering, and that's Neo. You can see here you mounted the midband. As you began to constrict and then expand, and you can see once you expanded, you got a 31 and then a 19% candle, and you were trading outside of the monthly Bollinger Bands. I can't overstate how bullish that is and was on this stock. So very interesting times on AMC. Ahead, you're going to have to see some kind of news alongside with a very, very heavy volume push. If not, if you break below the falling wedge, unlikely in my opinion, because that is such a strong reversal pattern, you have support on this tap, and then third tap at 250, that triple bottom range, right? But I'd like to see this break higher so that you can get a double bottom on the macro. Quarterly time frame, nothing has changed, ladies and gentlemen. Our thesis remains solid. We want to see a quarterly MACD flip on AMC for the first time since, you guessed it, 2021 of March, when you saw a 381% candle and then a 455% candle. So, just look at how close you are to crossing up. You quite literally just need 1 to 2 more green quarters in which that could propel AMC stock to finally do the dirty. Break from this trading range, you filthy animal. This thing has just been absolutely coiling down here. Meanwhile, you've been coiling down there. Meanwhile, you're silently breaking above the monthly RSI band. I cannot be more excited about this. And you look at this kind of wedge pattern, or this descending triangle pattern. Breaking above this and seeing a breakout could send you finally out of this range on AMC. As you zoom out here, you can see this is, believe it or not, a touch of bullish divergence on AMC. I'm going to continue to zoom all the way out. There we go. And maybe even I'll overlay because it's much easier to see. Kind of. Kind of. Let's zoom that out. So what's so significant about this is you can see you've made a significant move down in price. Meanwhile, the RSI has held within this 30 zone, not getting down to oversold on the monthly time frame. That is significant bullish divergence on a monthly time frame in which this thing has been pinned down here at $2 to $3. So your chart has gone down. Your RSI is holding an uptrend, or at least holding a relative higher low. That is bullish divergence. Just thought I'd point that out on AMC, and we'll see what becomes of it, because if you mark a bottom here, that would officially be bullish divergence in the monthly, and it is exactly what you saw, ladies and gentlemen. Apes and apettes, traders, neo holders, and crypto degenerates. It is exactly what you saw back in January of 2021. In fact, you can see you made a lower low in price. Your all-time low came off of a bullish divergence in which you made a higher low on the RSI. Your RSI went from 32 to then like 34, and your price went from 11 to 10. And that led to one of the greatest squeezes we've ever seen. So if that is any correlation, I just thought I'd point that out for you guys. That when in doubt, zoom all the way out and tune in for the next video. I will be back, guys. I love and appreciate you all. If you found value or wisdom or any kind of knowledge from this video, make sure to slap the subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace. Woo!